Here's what we had going on today. Went to start the bus, started up just fine. It was running, but I started to notice that the pressure gauge on the air brakes was not climbing. Thought that was kind of strange. Tapped the gauge a few times. Then decided to come out here and see what was going on. I came out here, nothing was spinning. None of these pulleys were spinning. The belt had jumped off, and I don't know if you can see that, but this side has been chewed off. So that tells me it was pushing towards the back side and rubbing against one of these pulleys. Well, I put it all back together, checked it out, and found that it was rubbing against this alternator pulley and it was shaving it down on that side. So the most likely culprit is a bad tensioner pulley, which I've already got pulled off here. That's what it looks like. It mounts just like that right in front of the alternator, and excuse me, when it was on there, you could see this section right here. I would pull on the rider pulley right there, and it would rock back and forth. So that pretty much tells me this thing's bad, and it was allowing it, as you can see where the rub is, all the way to the inside, pushing the belt over. And actually, I would say about a month ago I had to replace this because it jumped off and ripped another one. Figured it was probably time because it's been on there for years and years and years. But anyways, we're going to replace that. This is really simple. Just has a bolt that goes through right here. Sits just like that. It's really easy to get to. Just put your wrench on the front side of that and break it loose. Nothing spins like a fan when you have to take it off or anything like that, so it's really easy. I think this one was a 1/2 inch bolt, but the one that's going back on it is a 15 millimeter, so we got a whole new one. Let's put it on. Okay, a couple things you're going to need for this job is a something to release the tension on the pulley system. I've got one of these. It's very nice. It's got it for both sizes. This part right here actually goes in here. Now, this is probably used for something smaller, like a everyday vehicle, but it's also got this attachment that comes with it that fits this part. That clips right in there, and then once you have that, this gets pushed into here, and you can use it to torque the tensioner pulley and relieve tension from the belt, so you can replace it. But anyways, so you're going to need one of those. Very helpful indeed. On this particular one, I've got the new tension pulley, new bolt. It's already got some thread locker on it right there, and in this case it was a 15 millimeter. Now I think the one that I took off was either 1/2 or 9/16, I can't remember, but this is what's going to be used to put it back on. As you can see right here, the mating surface of that old tensioner has a lot of rust and junk and debris. I want to take a wire brush, something like that, and clean that up real good. Another thing you can do to keep gunk out of the threads is take the old bolt and thread it into Alright, here we have it cleaned up. Mating surfaces look good. Now what you're going to want to do, this my phone falls, there is a little tab that's on the new idler pulley. The tab goes in there and you'll run the bolt through the middle here. So we'll put the whole thing on, screw in the bolt, twist it until that drops in and locks it in place. Okay, new plan. I've got the original bolt. I did put thread locker on it. Make sure it's a removable thread locker. Otherwise, you will be crying the next time you do this. Let's see if I can get this thing in there. Start it. Jeez. It's more difficult than it looks. Come on, baby. There we go. I feel like it's caught. All right. Okay. So the actual pulley's lined up. You can feel it has seated inside the little that groove I was telling you about at the bottom here. Now, the 9/16 bolt Yeah, it changed from 15 to 9/16, or back to 9/16. So we've got that all tightened up. That's set around here. Now we will put our big tool in here, twist this up. That will relieve tension on the belt. Put the new belt on. Hope you can see that, but this was the belt I just pulled off. It was a brand new belt a month ago, and as you can see, it's chewed off a whole entire section of this. Now, because it's brand new, if you're strapped for money, you could probably hold on to this for an emergency belt. Say that thing breaks a belt and you're in the middle of nowhere. That's fine. I like to go ahead and spend the extra money and have a spare belt just for stuff like this, because it's a real simple, quick, easy fix, especially if you have one just sitting around. But like I said, this will work in an emergency. I don't know for how long, but it will work. Here we have the new belt. As you can see, there are two sides to this belt. There's a smooth side, and there's a side that's ridged, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain it anyways. As you can see here, here's the ridges off of the ridges on the belt, meet the ridges on this, then they line up. So ridges go to ridges, and then smooth sides go to smooth sides. I'm going to start over there, work it around. I usually start with the bottom, right around the crank, because it's difficult to get to, and I'll finish up right here where the tensioner is. That way I can pull tension off of the actual pulley there and get it on easier, instead of having to fight everything at once.